Hey guys, happy Monday. Let me tell you what. Sorry, I was babbling my mouth, sharing little protein pudding mixtures because let's say, Elite has me trying. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but I've noticed my cravings have changed and I get full a lot quicker. I do notice that I tend to, ever since Jason um, said to try eating smaller portions more frequently. I do notice that when I do that, I tend to be hungry sooner, but I get full quicker. Like I am hungry, but I don't like want. I don't know, like I don't want junk. Like junk really turns me off. So like I don't know how many people know this, but like when you're lacking certain vitamins, you have certain cravings. You'll crave chocolate, you'll crave salty stuff, you'll crave different things. And what I've noticed with this is that I'm actually just craving stuff that will be more filling. Um, and like actually I will enjoy. So, anyways, how many of you guys listened to the call today? And if you did not, make sure you listen to the recording. I think the recording has been posted in the notifications at the top of the Dream Team page, but if it has not, myself or somebody else will get that up ASAP. You guys, Jason is fired up, okay? And I know that something major is coming. I'm suspecting we probably maybe not until February, like the 1st of February, I think because of some of the other promos and the double QV on the packs and the qualifications um, for Miami as well as just Elite being launched, right? And we know that there will be announcements in February as well at the getaway. There always is. So definitely make sure that you are pushing for the qualifications for Miami. I actually will not be able to go to that one, and it really stinks. But I'm trying to get all the other things planned for the year. So I won't be able to attend that one, which I really wanted to go because I haven't been in Miami in probably 20 years. I was literally right at 21 years old whenever I went the last time. So I'm bummed out. And the hotel is absolutely gorgeous. I was looking at it whenever I thought that there was a slight chance I could go, but fortunately, yeah, Tim has to go to Alabama, so we can't make it, and it stinks. But anyways, make sure you can go because these events, and especially this one, like the VIP event for it, I think the qualifications are like 5,000 in QV or something, but or in PV, but you guys, it's going to be on a yacht, and I just think that's so cool, and it's super special. And regardless, if any of you guys qualify for it, you need to realize how much of a huge accomplishment that was because this one was definitely hard. It was harder. I feel like this one was probably one of the hardest ones that we've had to achieve. And that just tells me that it's just going to be that much more special when there's a smaller crowd and it is more, what's the word? I can't think of the word right now, but anyways, whenever there's fewer people that can actually attend it, um, it's normally ultra special, right? It's normally ultra special. So there's a reason, and I can't wait to find out what that reason is. I'm just going to be having FOMO big time for it. So anyways, also, Jason was talking about something, and I really, really, really am glad he talked about this on the call today. He was talking about the balance between trainings and actually sharing their experience. And I honestly, it was a big old wake up call for me. And I realized, oh my goodness, you guys, I used to have events every single week, like clockwork. And I know there's other leaders that do it. And I'll tell you what I think and the reason, and it isn't an excuse, but unfortunately, it was the excuse I was using. I quit doing them because other people were doing them. However, there is power with my voice. All right. There is definitely power and excitement with my voice. And I know that it is a huge strong suit for me to get on a live and me to share my experience and to get other people on and share my experience. And there were other people that were starting to do them. And I honestly, I hated StreamYard. And I know a lot of people were utilizing StreamYard for it, but I just want to go live on Facebook or utilize Zoom and go live on Facebook. And I like to keep it super personable and I like to interview people. And that is literally, you guys, something that if you have not gone live or you have not interviewed somebody and shared the experience, I want to challenge each and every one of you to do that before the end of the month. Ask somebody to go live with you. You yourself go live. All right. Like, don't overcomplicate it, but do it, because here's why. People will 100% eventually get on. Okay. And if you go through and you ask for interaction with it, I promise you more people are going to be see it. If your friend gets on that live, it is going to shoot out to more people that are friends with both of you. And it's going to pop up anyways now on notifications. Hey, so-and-so is live. And you guys, I don't know how often you scroll on TikTok, but dude, people are live all the time getting samples ready. And I'm like, whoa, why am I not doing that? Like literally, like these people, I literally was stalking. I'm a person that I observe people. And if I see stuff that's working, I'm like, why am I not doing it? This girl that I know I would trade incomes with any day, she's with another company. I'm not going to mention the company. It doesn't matter, because I have literally seen people doing it from pretty much every single company. They just go live. And while they're going live, they're literally packaging up samples. Just literally, they're like, look, I got little sample packs right here. They're literally like, oh, we got a women's, or we got, or we got a men's and a women's. And, I've got this kind, I've got that, I've got Black Label, and packing up. And guess what? People that hop on those lives are asking questions. What's that? What's that do? Boom. You get out a sample. Get a sample link in your, like, thingy at the top of the page. But seriously, like, get it in your profiles, because, and like, I just use I have a Beacons. I used to use Linktree. Some people use the Milkshake, whatever. You can create whatever app you want. But you guys, I send people literally that link and I give them the option. They can sign up as a customer account. They can create a promoter account. They can request a sample. And I do not send any samples until that person has a free customer account, and I shoot them a message. We make sure their account's verified, make sure I have contact with that person, so it's not just some random. I did utilize the tip that Kaylee passed on with making sure that I'm utilizing the phone numbers, not just on social media, and then when I put those people in these new samples, I'm literally putting their name in, and I'm putting the sample, and then I'm putting in the notes section when they got the sample. That way I know, and then I'm setting alarms so that I can, as soon as they get it, I will refer back to them, because we get our emails, but as soon as it says it's shipped, I'm shooting them a message to let them know, hey, let me know when that comes so that I can help you on the days that you get started. I want to make sure your experience is incredible and you love the product. This also keeps it relevant if the person forgot they even got the sample and that it's coming. This makes sure that they know that you care, that you're not just like, oh yeah, here, get the product. Like, now you ordered and, one and done type of thing. But I really thought, like Jason was talking about, like, the elite calls, and I know I got a thing. I have not created a Zoom for Thrive Elite yet, but I'm going to get on the ball with that so that I can interview a couple people. But something else that he was talking about was training and sharing the experience. Like, and I can tell you guys, honestly, I'm going to say for probably the last year, I have definitely heard more training calls than I have sharing about the experience calls. Right? Seriously, just being honest, like, more of what to do. But to be honest with you, people need to know what these products do for you and can do for them. And I'm not saying by any means to flood your social media, but if you want to create momentum, you have to be loud and you have to be excited and you have to share it, because if you're not sharing it, you're not going to create any kind of momentum. And if you're not letting people know you have samples available or that they could try this, these are the results they could get, they could run this business, how are they going to know that? And then your new promoters, honestly, I'm going to see if every new promoter will go live with me from now on again, because that's what I used to do. In fact, there's a couple people on here that I know darn well within their first week or so, I went live with. And they were scared. They were scared, but guess what? A lot of them are still here today. And I think it's super important that not only are we the people like that are already here, we're the ones that have the knowledge on the products, right? If you're brand new, you're not supposed to know it. But you're supposed to utilize your resources. But if you're only getting those resources on the page, it's hard sometimes for you to share that with people, right? So right now I can tell you, Jackie's really good about doing a live experience and doing an interview every single week. She does one. I seen that Steph Grotchak and Ashley and I think Stephanie are doing one here. I think it's maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But anyways, if you just look on their Facebook, you'll see it. I know that Liz goes live almost weekly and somebody else will also do a live call on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can catch those right on the Lavelle page. But you guys, to be honest with you, if you just search live experience or you search some of these leaders or whatever, you can really kind of introduce people to it all the time. There's always a live, right? But there is power behind you doing it. All right. And it shows, and maybe you're not comfortable actually leading the call, but be a guest, offer to be a guest. And that will kind of allow you to learn, get to share your experience, but not be the one that's kind of like doing all the talking, right? So like maybe if you're in a chat currently, say, hey guys, who would want to go live? Like, I know we're scared and we don't really know what we're doing, but guess what? It's okay. Do you know how many times I've gone live and been like, I don't know what I'm doing, but here I am. You know what that tells people? That if you can do it, so can they. All right. I promise every person that's ever gone live has been scared and they've messed up or they've tripped on their words or they've said the wrong thing or they've had a mess. Like I've had stuff falling all over the place before when I've been live and probably snot coming out of my nose or something. I don't know, because seriously, like it's okay not to be perfect. In fact, like I said, that's the more relatable factor. So
can we continue to talk about that? Because I feel like it's like a huge piece of like why my team is where they are today, why I joined Twin, like huge piece. I'm going to continue on this because everyone is skeptic, right? It's just like everyone sees the transformation. They're like, woohoo, yay, like weight loss. That's what people see, right? But I was watching Twin for 9 months, you guys. I joined her in the beginning when she was like maybe 5 weeks in. Cool, Twin, you have a thigh gap. I tell that all the time, right? But sometimes a transformation is just not enough, right? Sometimes there's not enough conviction between like just from a transformation, because that transformation is not the person, right? Like you have to have your own transformation for you to really hit you, and what they don't have it yet, right? They literally don't have it yet. So if you're watching someone else's transformation and you're seeing this stuff online, that is literally just what's going to get you in the door. Like, okay, I'm curious now, right? But it's hopping onto the calls and hearing the excitement that people actually pull the trigger, right? Where they're like, okay, like, let me really take it seriously now. I know a little bit more. And the opportunity calls have changed. They have forever. They changed my vision when I was just, watching for a little bit. Because the person that I knew, I knew Twin. I heard her hop into. She used to do these opportunity calls because we just figured it out. Okay. So what corporate does right now, theirs is basically like somebody is a host, right? They have like 2 to 3 people sharing their story, wham, bam, you're done. Exciting, cool, right? That's great. And if you guys can get people onto those calls, it's great. But guess what? A lot of my people, if I were to stick them onto a call like that, if they're not open-minded, they're going to be like, they're just trying to put me onto like a corporate selling call, right? It's not the immediate connection. And I want to share with you guys, if you guys are the ones going live, if you guys are the ones talking about the opportunity, if you guys are talking about the story, you're going to connect with your people, right? Because they know you. They're like, holy crap. And let me tell you why I connected with Twin. Okay. I hopped on a call, hiding my name. She didn't even know I was on this call, right? It was literally, she was already working her business, right? Busy, 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 working her business. She started like, okay, I'm going to start doing these opportunity calls. I don't know how many she had done at that point. Maybe just a few, because I came in like kind of in the beginning, right? But she hopped on a call, and I remember my ex, my ex actually introduced me to Twin. And I was sitting at the dinner table with my laptop. I had the call open, my name hiding on Zoom, right? Because I was that shy. And we heard Twin talking. My ex was like, what the hell? Is that Twin? And I'm like, yeah, it is. And he's like, it was a completely different side of her, right? We didn't know who this person was. It wasn't the same person with the transformations. It wasn't the same personality on Lifeline, but it was a very authentic, like, look, this is what I have here. This is what I've been doing. Like sharing her experience with thriving the company. You guys, this opportunity call that she did back then was like 10 or 12 minutes max. And I don't even think at that time she had somebody sharing their story, you guys. That's how basic it was. That's literally how basic it was. So even if you guys are like thinking right now, I have nobody to go live with. Who am I gonna get on this thing with me? Like, and even, it is a skill for you guys to be able to work together. Okay. That's the whole reason why, like when you guys are in school as like, kids, high school, college, why they have group, little group projects and stuff that you guys have to do, because they want you guys to learn how to work together, right? And that's the beautiful thing about having a team. However, during that time, Twin didn't have much of a team, right? She didn't have people that were willing to step up and share their stories. Everybody's super shy. Everybody's an introvert. And she shared an Oz that was 10 to 12 minutes. She shared highlights of the company, basically what Thrive does. And that changed my vision, because I was like, she said certain things, right? If you don't share Thrive, then somebody else is going to hear about it from, like, they might as well hear about it from you. I had heard things on those calls that like how amazing our CEOs were, and that they had been around for a long time. I had no idea, you guys. So it's really important to get your people onto these calls. It's important to show your face on these calls, right? I don't even think during that time, I think Twin just had her photo, which, I mean, it happens, right? Like she just had her photo on at that time, but we've grown so much. And like, with the experience calls, I always encourage you guys, just keep it real. Just be excited. Just keep it real, because that's what's going to pull people into your business, you guys. It does not have to be something fancy. What you guys have now, like what you guys have from Corp, even if you guys ever hop onto one of my weekly calls and stuff, and I don't do things the way that Corp does things, right? They tell me to do it for like 15, 20 minutes. I talk so much, you guys. I have tried so much to trim my call down as much as possible to keep people engaged, but I just can't do it. I've tried, you guys, I've tried so much.
And honestly, that's good. Listen, corporate call is structured because it's a corporate call. Okay. The reality of it is you already know that some people are going to tune out. All right. However, I would rather somebody tune out once they, like, because their kids screaming and they can't pay attention any longer, or they're just tired and they have a short attention span. But I'd rather them get the real me or the real Jackie and get that most important information. You guys, I'm telling you, that connection is the most important part of it. So just be you, because that is not laid out. That is raw and real. And I mean, you can't fake that. People can read right through that, right? So like, it's real.
I mean, the stories too, you guys. I mean, the corporate calls are great. It gives you like the 2-second stories almost, right? They're not 2 seconds, or like a couple minutes, but like you don't get the raw and the real and that's kind of what people want. If you really like look at it, and people have such amazing stories, you guys. And that's why I do the longer format calls. I know Twins is a little bit like, it's pretty similar to mine as well. But those stories, they not only bring new people in, because it's like somebody sharing a relatable story, maybe the person viewing it, they're like, wow, that sounds like me, right? Or that sounds like somebody I know, or they just find like this is a real thing, right? There's that. But then also when you guys have your team hopping onto these calls about how these products are changing lives, it pumps them up too, because they're like, it's the stories that keep me alive, right? If I didn't hear stories and stuff, then I'd forget about like how grateful I am for some of these things. So really, really important, you guys, to have these experience stories, these sharing stories. I loved today that Jason was talking about it, and he specifically said, if you guys have to be top heavy somewhere, I want you to be top heavy in the sharing part. And like, you know, honestly, for a lot of us, it's kind of the leaders, we do this every single year. And sometimes we might even think like, oh, you know, so and so already shared their story like a year ago or like whatever, but you guys constantly refresh your stories. Anyone who has bought the elite package, put it into their body, you guys all have brand new stories. You guys haven't shared it yet, right? Like literally. So start getting out there. I mean, do it scared. 10 to 12 minutes is what got me into Twins business, right? Literally. My ex was floating around like, is that Twin? I'm like, yeah, it is. Can you believe it? Somebody's going to say that about you if you open your mouth, right? Because they've never heard you talk about something so passionately before, right?
Yeah, I mean, and if you're afraid to go live right away and you want to kind of ease yourself into it, do it in your stories first. That'll kind of like ease your way before you like actually go live on your actual like Facebook or, you know, whatever. But like, I promise you, just talking to the microphone and recording that will help you get used to talking. And then just remember, uh, if you get distracted when people comment, just flip the comments over and get the stuff out. I generally get distracted, but that's okay because me interacting back and forth with people kind of keeps it engaging sometimes. And yeah, it's really it's I don't know, like I love to share other people's stories, especially because like people have heard mine, but no, nobody's heard my Thrive Elite. Like they've seen posts, but let's be real. If I shared everything in a post, nobody's going to read it because it's so too freaking lengthy and long. But if I'm sharing it and they're hearing my excitement and they're seeing my excitement, then they're probably going to believe it a little bit more and they're going to probably relate to it a lot more because it's vulnerable, right? A lot of times our stories are very vulnerable. And so like I was like, shame on me because I should have been sharing more stories. I should have been going live more frequently. And I allowed myself to get in the headspace of, well, this person's doing it and I don't want to like step on any toes. And you guys don't ever do that. Like, take it from me. Don't ever do that because your business will suffer because of it. Okay. You need to be the front man of your business. You. Okay. And I know that it's going to take time before you get built up and excited. And yes, you can utilize other people, but don't ever hold yourself back out of fear of what other people think, because the longer you allow yourself to be held back, the longer you're holding yourself back from growing. Okay. And you're allowing other people to stop you from growing. Don't do that because you absolutely can accomplish anything with this business. And there are so many people, and I want you to flip your mindset of me getting on there and sharing is not for me. It is for the person that needs this. It is for the person that is struggling, that is literally praying possibly for exactly what I have my hands on. And if I keep it to myself, it's kind of selfish. Our business model is set up so that you literally can run it free. Okay. Free. I mean, you pay shipping, but you can thrive free by 2 customers and you can literally get the products free by 2 customers. And that's where I'm focused. I'm like, wait, you can qualify for these bonuses. And listen, I look at these, our packs, as instantly selling them off as like samples. And then the products that I get to keep ultimately ends up with the credits that I got from my, or getting my Thrive for free, or the credits I get from my VIPs, right? So like if you go into it with that mindset, you're actually not spending any money. You're literally getting product to open up your store. and run it. And then you're selling that product and you're reimbursing that back into your business. But you'll have customers and you'll have new people that can be promoters. And then he talked about also, making sure that those, like the new people coming in, you guys, that can be a new customer, that can be a new promoter. If you get on there live with one of your customers and share their testimony, well, that's going to help that customer now get, first off, it might open up their eyes that they too could be a promoter. But in the case that they just solidly do not want to be a promoter and they want to be a customer, which you want to keep them as a customer, they can get referrals that way by going live, because it's their friends that now they're sharing their testimony to, that maybe they wouldn't have heard that testimony. So over here in the comments, I want to know, put a 1 if you have never gone live, and a 2 if you're going to go live by the end of the month. Because I really want to see, like, if you've never gone live and, well, anyways, I probably should have asked it differently, but it looks like everybody's going to go live by the end of the month, and that's great. And that can be by yourself, that can be interviewing somebody, that can be whatever combination you want. But I promise you, when you do it, if you share the testimony, you share the steps. If it's step like the normal, you can share both. You guys, you can share the normal Thrive experience and you can share the elite. I would strongly suggest doing the elite and then maybe adding in the Thrive experience, but unless you're not doing elite, right? But also just bloop in that there's an option for promoter, right? Just share that. If you're not strong in that spot, maybe ask the person that you're interviewing or whatever, if like you guys can rotate what you share. But I promise you, maybe it'll help you thrive for free. Maybe it'll help a new promoter or a new customer get started. Maybe it'll help get referrals or something. And listen, while you're live, ask people to share it. Maybe do a giveaway of a free 3-day experience or 4 or 5 day or whatever. If people share it, like it, tag a friend, right? Ask people where they're from. Ask people if they've, what their favorite flavor of protein shakes are. Ask people if they're going to the gym. Ask people if they're following any certain kind of diet. Let them know what kind of diet you're following. And for me, it's not a diet at all. It's just a lifestyle. Like, I eat high protein, try to keep my carbs in check. And I eat protein as over half of my meal almost. And then I eat veggies and I have a couple bites of starches at every meal. Like, that's just how I eat. And that's how I chose that I'm going to eat for the rest of my life.
That's how I eat too.
Yeah. And I'm telling you guys, it will be a game changer for you if you do that, because by the time you get to the other stuff, you're full. You're full. And then I also have been working on my water intake. That's something that people struggle with. You guys, mix in some of our mixes. But another thing too, to kind of help you, is if you drink a glass of water before each meal. That is a huge thing, because that means that you're going to actually consume less. I have to wait a little bit or else I can't even eat. But I can tell you that that has helped me. I can't drink a full glass, but I can drink a half a glass easily. So I said, instead of none or like all or none, I just drink a half a glass before, and then about a half hour after I eat, I try to drink another half glass. And that helps me, because if I have to sip on it all day, it's not going to happen.
I have a tip. I have
Yeah.
a tip for everyone too, just because I know how like nerve-wracking it is to go live and just kind of like, oh my God, I don't know how to talk about those things. And like, just, if you take the time to write down a couple keynotes that are things that maybe you don't specialize in, right? Obviously, you guys specialize in your story because it's your story. Nothing can change your story, right? Like, you know your story better than anyone. So it should be really simple to share that. But little key points that will move the needle highly in your business when you guys are sharing in your stories or whatever, is letting people know that they can thrive for free, right? Just letting people know, like, hey, we have an amazing refer to program. Like, if you're interested, get back to whoever sent you, or message me. Like, just simple like that, right? You don't have to go deep into the you get to and blah, 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 like, because that's where a lot of people will fumble and they'll be like, I don't know how to talk about this stuff. Another thing is, in your first 2 weeks, I can help you get these amazing VIP bonuses. Like, if you're interested, like, message me, right? just one-liners that tells
Yeah,
people
keep it
about
simple.
key things about the opportunity, like that you can't really mess these things up, right? You don't have to go deep into it. And it's honestly, it's not compliant for you to go into the dollar amounts and stuff like that. So we want to steer away from those things as much as possible. But like just one-liner key points that are putting the opportunity out there, right? We see it happen all the time that people are like getting customers, but they never move it to the other side because they're not talking about the opportunity, right? So if you guys would stick that into some of your messagings and things like that, share about those two key opportunities, right?
Mhm.
That's how you get a promoter into the door. Obviously, there's the other cool stuff too, like the auto bonuses and like, you know, vacations and all those things. But like really the basics and what Jason was talking about all day today was just those VIPs, right? Going bottom up, like literally like bottom up, right? That's how it works here. We have an inverted plan, you guys. It's the brand new people, right? Who are
Yep.
making the money up front and stuff. And you know, and the cream rises to the top. Like that's
Yeah.
what, you
And
know,
that is literally it's the cream of the crop of your business, to be honest with you. It's the new people coming in. That is your business. Because people, as they've been here for a while, they kind of get stagnant sometimes. It's always going to be the new and excited people that are going to create the most momentum. And it's going to create momentum for you as well. Because then you're helping somebody, you're getting on three ways, you're having conversations and helping that person get started a lot of times, and you're giving them ideas and you're helping talk to their customers a lot of times, or new promoters, and helping them with their VIPs. Another little tip is make sure like to announce that you're going to be going live, like make a little graphic. You know, you can even make a graphic that you use every week that you just change the name, or you change, like if you have a guest, or maybe you add another picture in. But we have tons of templates, you guys, that you can utilize in our cloud office, and then you just throw up a couple things on it and put your own spin on it and say, hey, I'm going to be going live at 9, and use keywords like, I want to help people to get this for free, right? I want to show people how they can put extra money in their, gas tank, or make some VIP bonuses, or whatever it might be. Just throw those little one-liners out. The less is really more when it comes down to it, because if you give too much information, they don't really have a reason to message you. But if you give just enough, it has a reason for them to inbox you and kind of find out just a tad bit more.
that
And
is so true. I'm so glad you mentioned that because I mean, that is literally a marketing tactic that I see other people using on Facebook and stuff. Like, why do you think they don't give you all the details? Right? Because they want you to message them. But yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because that is so true.
yeah, like there's some things, you guys, I don't talk about price on my lives or on my post. I do that one-on-one. Why? Because I'm going to make sure that somebody knows the retail. I'm going to make sure they know they get a discount with the 20%. If they do auto ship, I'm also going to make sure they have all of the best way that they're going to get the most product for the cheapest. If I have any specials or credits or discounts that I can utilize. So it's going to be different. So that's why it's tailored. And every person I'm going to have a different conversation with them, but I'm also going to give those people different options based on their circumstances, their objections, their wants, their needs, and what they want to accomplish with it. So like I said, just keep it super simple with, I can show you how to get this product for free. I can show you how to earn these bonuses in the first couple weeks. Sure, I might throw in that there's these incredible trips that we can go on 3 times a year. I might say that, I might not. Sometimes I'll mention the auto bonus, sometimes I won't. A lot of times it's just my Thrive experience and sharing how you can get it for free, and then the VIPs. A lot of times that's what we stick to, just because it starts to get over complicated. And it gets confusing. It gets confusing to anybody if you start going too much into detail. But yeah, the making the announcement bit, it's like, I personally like to say, like, let people know ahead of time, like I'm going to be going live at 9 o'clock tonight or whatever. Just because the people that might see it at 1 o'clock today they might, hit, like if I made an event for it, they might hit going or interested or whatever. They might have completely forgot about it. And then if I pop up a reminder about 15 minutes before I go live, in like if I did an event page or if I just did it on my Facebook, whichever one I did, that's going to remind those people, oh, that's right. That's what I was going to check out at 9 o'clock, because my brain goes squirrel and I always forget what I'm going to do at 9. Or that I was even going to check something out. Or they might just come back and watch it later because maybe they couldn't get on, but they remembered and they saw it. And then somebody commenting on it, it might pop it back up in their newsfeed later. But it gives people multiple chances and a different audience a chance to see that post and that you're going to be possibly going live. And then you can throw it in your stories, you can throw it wherever. Sometimes, and just a little tip, when I used to do it on one platform, specifically Facebook, a lot of times where I did a lot of my lives and stuff would be, I would also throw it in my stories that I was going to be live on my Facebook, like on Instagram. And we didn't have TikTok, like sadly, the last time I did that, which is really freaking embarrassing and calling myself out hardcore on that, but I haven't. Okay. I'm just being transparent here because let's just be real. If you don't call yourself on your own lack of what you're doing and realizing it sometimes, like, yeah, like, duh. Like, I'm like, what, Amanda? You are the person that literally went live every week. You're the person that did an event every single week. What happened to you? And I'm like, well, I let other people start doing it. And then as they dropped off doing it, guess what I didn't do? I didn't pick up doing it again. So I need to, because when Jason said that, I was like,
That's honestly the hard part. It is
mhm,
honestly the hard part. And it's probably one of the number one reasons why people don't step up, because they see that somebody else is doing it. They don't want to step on toes and things. But I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a call to action and just to bump off of Jason Camper's words, okay? Because what he was talking about was environment. What kind of environment are you guys creating for your team? I'll be completely honest. In the month of November and December, it was really hard for me to get a guest on my weekly call because everyone was like, I already shared, or like whatever. There wasn't a whole lot of brand new people coming in, or the new people weren't really in touch, right? So it's hard for me to get people on. I'm like, you know what, whatever. I'm not going to go chasing people to go on the call. I need a break myself. So I did. I took a little break from my own call, but they're back up again. If you guys want to see how I do it, go ahead. I stream mine right on my Facebook every Thursday. You guys can catch the recording. I barely post on Facebook. I'm somebody who works my business mostly on Instagram. You guys are more than welcome to hop on that call. You guys will see the events that I do every single Thursday and just listen to what I do. And I want to talk about environment because if on my team knows I do that call every Thursday, more than likely every Thursday. Very rarely do I cancel it unless I'm somewhere in the air where I don't have Wi-Fi or it's just not, working. But the environment is so clear cut, you guys. They know exactly what to expect. Our veteran promoters, they will hop onto the opportunity calls to hear the story, but they'll hop on after my intro's done. Like I'll see the numbers bump up because all the promoters will come on like 7 minutes later after I'm done doing the intro. They'll hear the story, they'll sit around a little bit for the story, and then they'll hop off because they're already veteran promoters. They already know their verbiage. They already know, like they've already heard this call. Rarely, like sometimes they'll stay on just to hear if anything's like changed in like my pitch and how I'm sharing. But those calls are mainly for people who don't know about Thrive yet, right? Or they don't know about the company. So they're inviting their people on there. They're getting on there to hear the story to keep them lit and excited. Who's coming into our community, right? Who's coming into the environment? But it's literally that clockwork, guys. So if they see it, they see the calls like 5:30, they're like, oh, it's almost like, 5:47. Let me, wait, 5:40, no, 5:37. Let me hop on. They'll be off once the story is done because they don't have to sit on for the whole thing, right? They're already promoting. The main thing for them is like, I just want to, if my person was on, I want to hear what they liked about it. They'll go and follow up with their people. And that's how you properly work a opportunity Zoom, you guys, if you guys are in this for a while.
yeah.
But
And
I want to share
also
with you guys.
following up. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I want to share with you guys because it is important. If you guys don't have a call like this that's, in your team or whatever, go hop onto mine. Okay. Like go watch it, see how I do it. Right. I would invite a bunch of you guys, if you guys wanted to like speak on it, I would invite you guys, but I'm actually running a team promo until Ultimate Thriver, that if people come on, that I'm giving them extra points. So I'm like closing off my odds until like March. So just for a team, because they're doing it, like these are like little not income producing, but challenges that I'm allowing them to step up to, right? But anyways, but hop on, just listen to it, because you know, if you can do this same thing in your team, even if you guys invite your potentials to my call, for example, they might be like, okay, well, you invited me to this thing and you have like this like crazy rich Asian girls, like, you know what I mean? They're not gonna relate to me. They're gonna hear something definitely, but they might have ideas in their head. And this is exactly why Paul Gravett says, he's like, I hate Zoom. I hate how you can see people because you're going to judge them, right? You're going to judge them on how they look and all these things. Like he loves calls because all you hear is the voice, all you hear is excitement. He loves just like those calls. But just a tip for you guys. You guys are all welcome. Like hop on, listen to my recordings, hop onto my live. If you guys have potentials, like hop onto it too. Make sure they have a free account with you, of course. Like and you know, like later in the summer, I'll open it up in case you guys want to practice with like me sharing, like come. But it will change your business, you guys. It is the environment you guys want for your teams, somewhere for them to go. You know, yeah.
And also I was going to say, if you have people that are curious that have asked about samples, but maybe still haven't like, you know, done it, like they haven't like actually ordered one or gotten one yet, or they've gotten it, but they haven't actually tried it, or somebody that's a potential or whatever, it's a good time to shoot them a message, let them know you're going to be going live or that there is an event. If they want to check it out, it kind of like eases your follow up a little bit, but also gives them a reason to kind of hear maybe something that one, they could relate to, or two, information that maybe you just haven't got the chance to really tell them, but actual real experiences, not generally from you. Because what do you hear? You say somebody can hear 1,000 times from somebody they know, but then they hear it from, you know, somebody else, and all of a sudden they actually heard it. It's kind of
You
like
know what, one girl, like, we have people that do this in our team, but I saw one girl, ignorance on fire. Okay, like when she was trying to get people onto an opportunity call, she was the guest speaker. She reached out to a bunch of people and she was like, oh my god, I'm going live, can you please support me? It's my first time ever doing something like this, can you just please support me? It's like I need the support, right? And people were like, yeah, sure, like when is it, what time is it? Like that's how she got like 12 people onto an opportunity call that were just supporting her because she was like, I've never, like, I just need you to support me because I'm so nervous, right? Because they know it's nerve-wracking that they're going to be going and talking about something. So another key tip for you guys, if you guys ever go live and you're the one sharing, another thing that I wanted to say, I heard Amanda talking about price when you're like, I don't talk about price. I actually never talk about price to you guys. It's also in my, what is that thing called? My deep dive training that Lavelle like came to my house and they were talking to me about. And I don't talk about price. If you guys just stop talking about dollar amounts, you guys, and just lead people to where they need to go to make their own decision, right? Because they're going to get all the way to the page, right? I don't talk about price because I mean, we don't know what taxes are and shipping and all these things in everybody's like state or province or whatever it is. I never, ever, ever talk about the price. And it'll change your business when you stop talking about it, because I have a lot of really shy people that are like, as soon as they say the dollar amount, then they're like, I lost them. And I'm like, yeah, because you said the freaking price, like tick
yeah,
that up.
because a lot of times people will talk people into what they think that the person can afford. And I know that you guys might say that, no, I don't do that. Yes, you do. A lot of you do. You automatically, I have heard so many times people say, well, nobody's going to buy from me because it's too expensive. No, people buy what they want to buy, you guys. I promise you. They really do. They buy what they want to buy, and they sign up for shit all the time, and they order makeup, and they order health products, and they order stuff on Amazon. Trust me, if they want it, they're going to find a way to do it. And there are different options, but also don't talk people out of stuff, because you don't know what their budget is. You don't know what they're wanting to get. Now, if somebody tells me that they only have a certain amount of money and this is the area that they want to get something from, I let them know what is specifically within their budget that they're mentioning, and I give them a couple different options. But at that point, I also give them some options for payments. I don't mention that payment plan unless it becomes a reason to mention that payment plan. And by payment plan, I mean like the Klarna and the Quad stuff. The reason why I do not mention it is because if that person doesn't pay it, you're going to get a chargeback. Make sure you're aware. If the person doesn't follow through with their payment plan, you will get a chargeback eventually. Okay.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you can.
I've never used that app though, because we don't have it here in Canada. So
Yeah. Yeah. So if you ever see like a chargeback or whatever, it's because that person signed up for it. Maybe they qualified for a certain amount from Klarna or whatever. Well, when Klarna goes to pull that money out of your actual bank account, if it's not there, it's not there. Right. So of course that's going to screw their ability in the future to be able to use that. If it because we used to run into this problem a lot with my previous company. You had to sign up for 3 months auto shipment. You did not get to choose canceling that before that 3 months. If you didn't cancel it, you got charged $50. Like if you canceled it before the 3 months was up, you got charged $50. Okay. The fact that we don't get that, you guys have no clue how awesome that is, right? If somebody signed up and they wanted the customer price on auto shipment, buddy, they had to keep it for 3 solid months. And if for some reason they declined that second month because they used a prepaid card, well, you just got screwed and didn't get that volume. And now that customer is going to end up with a, $50 charge or whatever on their account. And eventually they did. They started taking it from the promoters because they didn't fulfill their agreement and they knew people were signing up with prepaid cards. So, that's not something Lavelle has ever, done. Here's the thing, guys. If a customer or situation happens that they don't actually make the payment on it, then the bank's going to end up flagging it as fraud. And I don't know about you, but I would rather have customers that are satisfied, that are going to be paying, than getting those customers that I know maybe aren't going to be able to finish paying for their entire product. So I always want to work within their budget. And don't bring up the price unless somebody else brings up the price. They're not asking you that. Answer what you're being asked. And most of the time that is what the product is. And then if price becomes an option, then just ask what their budget is. It's not how much is that. Say, well, what is your budget? And we will figure out what the best plan for you is. So I always go with that. What is your budget before I go into what the price is? Because if you are shy on prices or you yourself are insecure about money, I'm just saying that because it's very true. It will hinder you on being able to close your sale. So in that case, just find out what their budget is and then try to work within their budget. Or that's when you want to reach out to somebody and say, hey, how can I kind of navigate this? And then you're going to get better by asking for somebody else to kind of help navigate. You can screenshot it, send it to a sideline, send it in a chat, send it to your upline, send it to whoever. I promise that's going to pay off. So what do we learn about this tonight? Going live, being excited, kind of breaking down that comfort zone a little bit, right? Sharing the Thrive experience, being loud, letting people know about this opportunity, let people know that they can thrive for free and the VIP bonuses and so forth. So sharing this experience, and you guys listen, yes, you need to have relatability factors and you need to be interacting with people and being consistent. If you're mainly working on social media, then okay, you got to work on growing your network and all of that good stuff. But what good is growing your network if you're literally not letting your network know what you also have your hands on? So you have to see where the balance is. Like you can do all the things like, oh yeah, I posted my, 3 things or 5 things or whatever. Okay, but there's nothing about what you do and what you're trying to grow, right? And this is your business. So you want to make sure you're sharing that. And you can't get samples out unless you let people know you have samples. You can't sign customers unless you let people know what kind of results they can get, what they can feel like. So I highly suggest. I'm really glad that Jason talked about that tonight, because it's going to prepare you for whatever bomb is being announced, right? I don't know about you guys, but I want to drop stuff now, because I want the people watching now to jump on for whatever that is too. I'm going to work on closing up the people that are excited. And I have people that have asked me the same question 100 times about Elite. And they're eventually going to sign maybe in a year. I don't know, but I'm going to keep on posting it, and they're probably going to keep on asking, and eventually it's going to be the right time. Maybe it'll be tax time. Maybe it'll be another month or two when they've tried everything else and whatever, but it's not going to stop me from sharing it. Also utilizing your upline, sidelines, all lines, whatever. If you see somebody's story and their story relates to a customer you're talking about, don't be afraid to reach out to that person and ask them, hey, would you be willing to hop in a 3-way with me? This person has X, Y, and Z. Maybe they're a teacher, a busy mom. Maybe they are a foster, like they foster animals and so forth. I'd be like, Brittany Hyder, let me have all of you for a hot minute, right? Because that person's going to relate. Or maybe they've had gastric sleeve surgery, which I would be able to answer a lot of those kind of questions, because a lot of people are misconstrued and think that like that's the easy thing. I literally had to change everything for the rest of my life, or I'll gain it back. That's just the reality of it, right? And I don't want to gain it back. I still have goals to hit. But I think that's important to make sure that we're leading from the front, right? So like, you are the face of your business. And I think at the end of the day, that's what you have to remember. If your business isn't going where you want it to get to, what are you not doing that the people that are where you want to be, what are they doing? Right? And then you yourself start implementing some of those things. Like maybe they're going live, maybe they're having events, whatever, right? Be the part before you become the part. Because here's the thing, you have to say, like, that's how you're going to get to your goal, is by doing the actions for a person that is at that place. That's how you get to that place. So yeah, like I said, that pumped me up. Like when I heard him on the call, I was like, oh man, like, I don't know about you all, but I needed to hear that, because I certainly hadn't been doing that. And that's just like sharing and getting the product in people's hands. You guys, I am the girl that literally was signed up for every Working Women's Wednesday. I was trying to get in front of 3 or 4 friends a week. I would ask one friend to grab 3 or 4 friends and come over to their house. All right. And I was like trying to get together, or I was literally going places. I would have samples when I went to work, and people would be coming to the floor to buy them. I literally would sell samples at the gas station, you guys, at the gas station on my way home, because I would talk to the people, the cashiers. So like, if you are not keeping those samples or whatever, that's an introduction for your business. And I know people even do 1-days, and 1-days are not going to really do much except for teach people the simplicity, let them taste what the shakes taste like, or what the lifestyle mix tastes like, and feel maybe what the DFT does, maybe, but always give the warning that there may be detox and just a heads up, like you might not feel the greatest, but this is just to teach you the simplicity of the actual product. Jackie, is there anything else that you can think of? Because I'm like, I have a ton of notes.
There's tons of things. There's so many things. Well, first thing we'll talk about, 1099s are available in the cloud. Okay, so if you guys go print them off, get them ready, like get your receipts and everything that you have for the business, product that you've purchased, your Thrive products, bring it to your accountant, because those are definitely write-offs for you. Also talk to them too, if you have like a dedicated working space at home, they might be able to write off some of the space in your home. Talk to your accountant about that. Also the announcement, something that Jason was saying, I was like, okay, well, we're not quite done with the month yet, and month end isn't actually until next week, but they said they're going to give us an announcement this week. Like, why are they giving us something early? I don't know. I'm not really quite sure, but I don't know, maybe because this February is a short month, or they're giving us a heads up so that we like, I don't know.
I'm just going to warn all you all. You're gonna be pissed off if if they would drop rank advancement bonuses and you sat on it all month long. And he announced them at the end of the month because haha, suckers, we were watching, right? And yeah, I just said what I said because you can never wait for that kind of stuff to come around before you decide to work your business. You want to work your business like it's here. Why? Because then that means that the people on your team are going to have the ability to hit those ranks and your paycheck's going to go up regardless. So never, ever, ever hinder your business because there's not a rank advancement bonus or something like that. But it wouldn't surprise me if he dropped them because we've had so many opportunities to grow our teams massively, and had those kind of bonuses been available, I guarantee people would have worked their promos 20 times harder, right? But something like that could be dropped. I don't know. I mean, I'm not even saying any bonuses are coming, but he kind of mentioned stuff, and there might not be rank advancement bonuses. It might be something else, but I'd say that there's a possibility. There's possibility.
Angela had a question. I'm not quite sure. You might want to message support about that through the cloud. It might be a glitch because that's kind of what happens with sometimes apps and stuff. It's third-party stuff.
Yeah, I had to, when my name changed, I actually had to message support, and then they had to reset mine for me, and I had to uninstall the app and reinstall the app. So if for some reason you're having issues with it, and yeah, Denise, it's recorded. Oh yeah, that one's recorded. I'll post it in the Dream Team page from today at 1. But anytime that you have a problem, you guys don't hesitate to message support, because literally I was having problems as soon as my name changed and I changed my link, and they just had to reset it and I had to uninstall and reinstall it. So if you ever struggle with something like that, don't get frustrated with it too much. Just send support a thing and you guys will troubleshoot together through it.
Support's awesome. I send all my customers there. I send a lot of people to support. They're amazing. For some of these questions that we can't really answer ourselves. I think that's about it though. I mean, Jason's call was honestly, it was so amazing. It was so amazing. He's like literally spot on. And another thing I want to mention too, because we were talking about earlier that new blood, right? The new blood, the new people that come into your business, that's like the lifeline and all that stuff. And I want to just share, because there's like a lot of MLM stuff or whatever, oh, they're just recruiting people. That's not true. Okay. Not here, right? When we get new people in, we care about our people. We want to make sure they have a good experience, right? And Jason Camper kind of touched on that today. It's you can be bringing all these people into the business, but you definitely want to keep them too, right? That's the difference here, right? That is literally the difference. So I want to just kind of bring that to light too, because it's not just about getting people in with Thrive if you're not going to take care of them, right? You still got to take care of your people, and there's no point in signing 50 people if you can't take care of 50 people, right? You got to be able to take care of them the right way, show them the ropes to get them to the next step. Always, whenever you guys are talking to people, make sure that you guys are showing them the next step. If they're in, right, and they're loving their experience, great. Who do you know that needs this, right? And when you guys can get your customers to share for you, your business is really going to turn into 50 new thrivers. You know what I mean? And maybe you're not even the front man that's actually sharing, right? Or having to talk to everybody, because you got your customers and stuff who are sharing for you. Key tip, you guys, a lot of the top PPA, top enrollers in the company, that's what they're doing. It's not just them talking to 50 people, right? It's literally them having 10 customers who they're all thriving for free or whatever, right? Little tip for you guys. But that's it. That's all I got.
Yep, absolutely. So love you all. I hope everybody has an amazing night. I'll get this Zoom recording posted here shortly, and I'll also make sure to post the Zoom from today at 1. And Jackie, I see a couple people asking if you had those Zoom recording from last night.
Yes, I do. Let me upload it.
Okay.
I do have it.
Thank you. All right. Now you guys got the answer if you asked on here too. So, all right. Good night, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.